I did that record, buddy. So, boy, how we living?
Good, you?
Thank you so much for being a part of this, bro. You already know I had to have you. It's my second guest, and then let's do an intro. My name is Chris. I go by the name of 10.
Carlos, Carlitos Way, Carlitos, or yeah.
What's it called? Just tell us where we're at, bro.
We're out here behind Pickleweed Park.
Yeah.
You know, little nice area here in Canal. We got the Richmond Bridge in the back.
Yep.
Beautiful
You see it?
Bay
You guys
Area
see
view.
it? It's like right over there. Like, and we got this whole fucking antenna. You feel me? It's a vibe. You feel me?
Sun's out.
And then you grew up here.
I did.
Pretty much.
I did.
Yeah.
I've been
How long have you been here? Yeah, in Canal.
20 years as of January. It's kind of
Damn.
crazy. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, 20 years. Because I've known you, bro, for like, can we say, well, since middle school. So 13 years? Nah,
Probably
a little bit more.
around that.
Like 15, give or take.
I got here.
13, 12.
What is it? I got here. I started second grade.
Yeah.
We met sixth grade.
Yeah, I was
So
like
I would
sixth
say
grade.
like 15-ish, give or take 15 years at least.
Yeah. I've been seeing all your progress, bro. Like, it was only right to have you on, bro, because not only you are a photographer, but you do so many things, bro, literally. And we're going to get to that. But, sorry, you grew up here in Canal, and you're from El Salvador. How was that transition, like, coming from El Salvador into the States? Like, how was that?
It's kind of crazy, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah.
I grew up whole different culture, like everything. Like, English is my second language. I was like probably like 7 years old, and then I turned 8 like the month right after. So I mean, I remember a good chunk of everything, but it was a whole different, like, new world to me. I'd only visited as a little kid, but moving here to live here was like just a whole new experience.
Yeah.
Because one thing's vacationing here, and another thing's like actually living here.
Like, what do you remember out there? Like, where you lived?
Oh yeah,
Like,
I can
literally.
I
at that
can
age, you can
pinpoint
remember.
you like where I grew up. Like, I remember like the malls I used to go growing up, like the parks my dad would take me to, and like going to school, and like taking like public transportation, because over there wasn't here like where you have like the yellow school bus that picks you up. Like, now over there you kind of get there on your own.
I feel like it's more free too. Literally, like you're saying, like you can just
it's
moving around.
Yeah,
literally.
it was very different, but also like because of where the country was at the time, like wasn't as like free going as it is now.
Got you. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, you talked about El Salvador and like growing up and stuff. Do you recall like picking up photography out there, or was it out here?
I didn't really take photos out there.
Right.
I was a little kid, so like I think.
Yeah. What about
What I do remember, like, here's like the crazy part. Like, my mom always brings it up, was that for like my first birthday, we would go to a photo studio every month. My parents wanted to like document me growing up. So like the first year of my life, we would go to a photo studio, and then we would get like studio shots done together, or like, and also by myself. And then we would do it usually like once a year after I turned 1, like right before school started. And I remember my dad used to like go around with his Canon, like for like birthdays or like family outings that we would have. And that's a camera, like later on in life, he like passed down to me. And that was like the very like vivid memory that I have of photography. And the one that's the most clear one was when my dad went to Japan when I was around like 5 years old, and he came back, and we got to see all these photos. And I remember like when he was away, like, my mom would kind of be like a bit sad. So I would bring out photo albums and be like, look, dad's right here. So like photos have always been have played a role in like my life since I was a little kid.
It's fucking crazy. What kind of camera did he have?
It was a Canon Sure Shot 8.
Oh, so it was like the point and shoot.
Yeah, it was a point and
Literally.
shoot, like nothing too crazy. But I know some people seek them out nowadays. Like, I remember showing up to people that are like, yo, like I've gone through like 3 of those, which is kind of crazy because my dad used it. My dad bought it for when I was born so that he could document me growing up. And then once I was like more serious about shooting around like 18, 19, he gave it to me. And I used it till like maybe up to like 3 years ago. And it finally gave up on me. And so pretty much used it for 25 years. And I put that thing through a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I took it to
really
like,
run through hell with
parties
cameras, bro.
we had growing
Even that
up
same
with
one.
you. Like
Yeah,
I would use those there. I would use that one there. So it's pretty crazy.
So do you think you got photography from your dad? Can you say that? Like pretty much.
I will say, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
like, that
for
was
sure.
like a big part for
Yeah.
sure. Like my dad was probably my first influence as a photographer.
Yeah. No, yeah. So you said 18, you pick it up a little bit more serious, but you got to tell him too. Well, that was our senior year.
Yeah,
like
it was around that time.
when we did our photography class, bro.
Correct.
Bro, Miss Herrera.
Yo, shout out to
shout
her.
out, man, shout out to her, man. She's
real.
lit. She literally taught us everything about film photography, like making
Straight
a
up.
little box to shoot,
Pinhole
and,
camera,
like and then like developing it and
Yeah.
then scanning it. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like
printing.
what was that thing? The enlarger. We had to use the
Enlarger, yeah,
enlarger.
for
Yeah,
printing.
that was a whole process, bro. That it felt therapeutic. You feel me? It was just lit. But yeah, so that's lit, bro. So mostly, did you get inspiration out there, or did you or do you get it more here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
like back home? Like in
yeah. Like, do you get inspiration from out there? Like, I want to, because you shoot different communities, right?
Yeah.
So, and you stick to that the storytelling of different communities. So
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I
does
think
that make you want to shoot that more?
I've been back 3 times since I moved. First, right out of high school, after we graduated, I went for the first time, and I did bring a Rolly 35, which you actually gave me.
Okay,
And I
yeah.
remember, like, again, like, things in the country weren't that great. So I remember, like, bringing my camera out, and the family we were staying with, they were like, yo, like, you gotta be careful. Like, you can't be having, like, that kind of stuff out. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta be, like, kind of sketched out about it. And I didn't really care. I was like,
I just want to shoot.
whatever happens. Like, who's gonna, like, it's a film
Yeah.
camera. Like, it looks old. No one's stealing old stuff. People are probably stealing, like, newer stuff. But anyways, I
Right.
got to shoot a few rolls with that, and it was really cool to, like, see that. Because I was just, like, trying to see what 10 years away from home looked like to me.
Mm-hmm.
I went back 2020. Things had gotten a little better, but COVID was going on. So it was like the time was a little different too. But for that, this time I had a Nikon F3 and I was shooting with that. And then I went back again the following year. And it was kind of just like shooting the things that I grew up around
Mm-hmm.
and like my culture, and just like, like El Salvador has the stigma of like this violent country with like all this stuff. Like, it's never really been portrayed as this like, beautiful country that's full of like a lot of culture and like beautiful landscapes and stuff. So that's kind of what I wanted to bring out in the stuff that I was shooting.
Yeah. So you think that's like, why does that so important to you? You just feel like, I need to show the world this.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
transcends to here. Like, I've shot a lot of stuff here in Canal, like shooting the community here.
Yeah.
And same thing, like growing up, this neighborhood didn't really have the best rep. And I feel like there's a lot of hardworking folks here. There's like small little pockets of like different like countries here. And it's just like kind of capturing that side that's not talked about in like the local news and things like that. So that's why I was like I'd go on a stroll and I'd just bring my camera around, smile at people, capture just like little everyday moments that like
moments, bro.
people
Yeah.
aren't coming in. People from outside this community in Marin County rarely come in here. And it's like just to show like, yo, like this is kind of what I wouldn't say missing out exactly, but like this is what you're kind of like putting aside.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, like look around what you got, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's
Yeah.
so much too. Like, just one spot they got, like literally their own world, bro.
Yeah.
But like, there's like, you feel me? We got a lot of shit going on. They come to us to eloteros, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like everything. So I know you shoot a lot of, your community and different communities. But you also did concert photography. Like,
Yeah.
how did you get into that?
Right. I remember we went to a Hippie Sabotage concert with some friends, and the photographer at one point of the show does a front flip into the crowd, kicks me in the face, breaks my nose, and then I have to go to the ER and everything. And they like give me their contact and everything, and people are like, "Yo, what are you gonna do about it? Like, are you gonna like sue or all this stuff?" And I'm like, "Man, like it wasn't really in me to do some shit like that, because it was also his first tour being a photographer, and like big tour." And I was like, "You want to know what? Like, I'm trying to get into concert photography, and I know how difficult it can be." I'm like, "Bro, if you know anybody, get me in."
Yeah.
And then that's how I like slowly, he was connecting me to people, and then I'd show up, pick up my pass, shoot. And then over time, I like started figuring out like, okay, I got a portfolio. I'm gonna start reaching out on my own. And then I created this like formula of how I did all this stuff. And yeah, that's how I kind of just like was able to get into shows. But with time, I realized like originally I did want to do that. Like I wanted to go on tour. Yeah. I wanted to go on tour. And then eventually I realized like it just wasn't truly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I kind of like set that aside. And here and there, I'll try to like reach out if there's anything cool I want to shoot. I'll try to reach out to someone and be like, all right, like,
yeah,
can I get in? Is there anyone like?
Yeah,
but
that hippie.
Besides
that hippie fucking story, bro. When you told me that shit was crazy. Like,
right.
Bro, the photo you showed me, the nose crack. Like,
my nose
wild. And then they
so
invited
good.
you back to the the RV, right? Or something like just in the back, like
trailer.
Bro, my bad.
It's cool. There's a photo of me with that one.
That's
bloody
fucking
nose.
legendary, in my opinion.
Crazy. And then I still went to your house for like a party the next day.
Oh, what was that?
I don't even know, party? Bro. It was a summer.
I don't know. I was throwing a lot of parties.
I'm there with like
you were just coming through, like through, and you were capturing hella photos at that time too. Like just that's the thing as a photographer, bro. Like if we have that little camera that film, you know, like just snap anything in the moment, bro. Because you know that's what it's about, like capturing those moments. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So, it's tough that we even do that. But you shot. What artist? Like you shot Blueface. I remember that.
I shot Blueface here in Santa Fe.
You shot some photos of Blueface when he was like popping.
Right after he had like gotten that SoundCloud tattoo on his arm. I remember people were going crazy over it. Mm-hmm. And he had just gotten that like crazy like Benjamin.
That Benjamin?
That like Benjamin.
The chain, right?
The chain.
The big chain. Yeah, that was pretty tough.
And yeah, that's one, like those photos, like even to this day, like once in a blue moon, they'll get a like from like a random Blueface fan page. I'm like, yo, what? Hey, I guess. I mean, he was out. I don't know if he's out here or he was out here for Super Bowl weekend, but he's still doing this thing, right?
I forget why he came through.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Just really random,
he still hadn't blown up. It was kind of like Cole Bennett, Lil Uzi, where like he had booked them right before he blew up, and I think that's what happened. They had booked them, and they didn't want to like shut it down.
Yeah, wow.
But that was a chaotic night.
Blueface.
For the people that were there, they'll remember how that went down.
There was a fight afterwards too.
There's so much stuff that went down afterwards.
Wow, yeah, that is insane. What other artists? I mean, you've done a lot of like rave photos too. Am I tripping? I don't know what you've shot a lot of stuff, bro.
Yeah, I did Roach Gigs last concert in the Bay Area. Shout out Roach Gigs. Yeah, like that was a crazy, beautiful moment for me. Like, you know, we grew up listening to him.
Yeah.
And who else? I mean, I shot Lil Baby, like also same thing. Like,
Lil Baby
blew up, and crazy enough, PMB opened up for him. Rest in peace, PMB. Like that was nuts too. Like people were going crazy.
You shot a lot of rappers that were coming up. Right?
Yeah, I have like photos of like
literally, you
Shoreline Mafia, like Vince Staples.
Damn, yeah. You should post them, bro. Like deadass. You should really post them. I haven't seen them in like years.
Yeah. Oh, SOBRVE. Like,
okay,
dude, I'm telling you, like, just like
you were literally there all the time too, though. Like,
I would try to go out. I would try to go out whenever I could, or like anytime they gave me the opportunity. So. I've got the opportunity to do a lot of like, really interesting photos.
So you do photography. You also work with clothes,
Yeah.
and then you work for a Bong. Shout out to Bong. Um, Tell me how that is. Like, you've sold some clothes to, like, say, like Lil Yachty, literally my favorite and your favorite photographer, bro, Gunner Stahl. Like,
Oh,
like you have met these people too, and sold literally close to them. How was that like working in that space? Doing
It's
all that.
crazy because I mean that whole the job came about like also like same thing being like into photography. I remember being at Grady's like photo show like 3 years ago, and I didn't really know anybody. And then Avery walked in, and he was like, "Yo, I want you to meet my boss," and it was Bong. And at the time, I thought he was like working somewhere else, and then he was like, "Oh no, this is like the warehouse job," and I was like, "Oh, okay, sick." We started talking and getting to know each other, and then I remember we were doing a thing for Ome, and last minute I had to switch locations for I was gonna film this video on Super 8, and Avery was like, I asked Avery, I was like, "Yo, like that warehouse you work at," which I still wasn't familiar with. I was just like, I just need a place to pull up to shoot. He was like, "Let me ask him," and he said yes and pulled up. And I was like, I walked in, and I've been into fashion for a really long time, but I was starting to understand what vintage fashion was like. But my knowledge of like references of like music, like pop, like all this stuff, I would see these things on the racks, and I was like, "Yo, like this is that." Anyways, Bong and I talked for a bit, and then later that night, he hits me up and he's like, "Yo, like I kind of need a new shooter for product photography. Like, is this something you'd be open to?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not? Like, let me come through." And I did, and we're
Just
now
from
here,
there,
like
pretty
almost
much history.
3 years later, and
3 years indeed.
we've seen that all that progress. Like it's been a beautiful experience overall.
Yeah, bro. I've been seeing your growth, and then when you literally tell me everything, bro. So to hear you like do this type of stuff, like not a lot of people could do this, So I want to give you your props and your flowers, bro, because you're really doing this out here too,
Yeah.
So I'm super happy for you, bro. So that's awesome, bro. Now let's talk about you traveling. I know you've traveled, as far as I know, the whole damn world. But like, where has been your favorite place to document?
Yo, it's a good question. I want to say I wish I would have shot more while I was in Australia. Australia's a beautiful country.
Tell them a little bit where you traveled. Australia.
Yeah, I've been like a few like countries around Europe. I haven't gone further south of America more than El Salvador. I wanted to, visit places like Brazil, Colombia, Peru. Like there's a lot. Latin America is beautiful countries. Like still haven't been to like Africa, but yeah, I think out of all the places I've been, Mexico City is like one of my favorite places to be at. And I've shot photos. I've shot like motion picture. I brought my Super 8 the first time I went, and like I remember like seeing like Roma and like how that whole movie was filmed. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna bring like a roll of like black and white Super 8 film and like shot all these things. And yeah, like I think that's probably the place where
Australia, right? That's your favorite.
Mexico.
Oh, Mexico
City,
yeah. My bad. Okay. Damn, bro. Yeah, you've also been to like you said, Europe, Paris, bro. Like, damn, bro. Where do you want to go back?
Where do I want to go back?
Yeah. You also mentioned Japan.
I've been to Japan. I did 3 weeks in Japan, bounced around.
But how many times?
Once for 3 full weeks. Like 3 full weeks of being there, and then like it's like 3 weeks and 4 days with like the traveling and stuff. And I got my digital Fujifilm camera like right before that to take that with me. And I shot a lot, but I also like wanted to be in the mode. Like I wanted to bring my Polaroid. I wanted to bring my like Super 8 camera. Like but then I'm like, dude, that's gonna take away from the experience. Like I'm just gonna bring the one Fujifilm camera and just like shoot and enjoy. So that's pretty much what I did.
Man, Yeah, I need to travel more, bro, because you've always given me that inspiration to travel, bro. Like that, I was like, every time I always hear you like travel, I'm like, yeah, I gotta be on that too, man. Like, you know how I be. But what is your plans moving forward? Like, what's the future you? You know what you want to do?
The future, honestly, like I still shoot. You know, I've kind of like moved away a little bit from like doing a lot of that, like commercial clientele, like kind of stuff, just because I just like wasn't like in the right mental space for it. Uh, but I'd always like in my backpack, I usually have that Rolly 35. Like it's that or like I'm out with like a Fujifilm disposable. Like that's the thing that I love. I love those cameras. Like, cause you can just be out, you drop them. Like it don't matter. Like it's gonna be fine. And if it breaks, like you know what? Like it's a $20 camera. Like it's replaceable.
Yeah.
But you know, we just did a group show in the city at Studio Aurora, and Shouts Out Perks asked me to be in that, and I did. Had some Polaroids. Polaroids another format that I love shooting. The physicality of it all, like it's just so cool, and I actually exhibited stuff that I've never shown to anybody, and just like really cool portraits from over the years. And you know, I still want to shoot like just like the things that I do. I love like traveling and doing photography for it. And then right now studying with like design, like graphic design and things like that. Like I want to start making like more physical stuff and put that to like good use. And yeah, just see where it takes me.
Yeah.
Like I'm still that visual person. Like I'm still taking photos. If I don't have a camera with me, like I have my phone out, and you know, you see my Instagram, it's always like random stuff. Like it's never like
yeah.
It's really anything serious. It's like I'm such like my eyes always like looking for like, yo, what are people not paying attention to? And I feel like that's kind of how it's always been. It's always been like the stuff that's kind of going on in the background that happens.
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, you know, I'm always looking forward to whatever you got going on, bro. Like, I'm always here for support, bro. And, you know, like, you feel me? We're going to get to it. But before we do wrap up, what do you want to say to the audience? You know, you got to talk your shit, bro. You already did, but you got, you know, wrap up. You know, you got to wrap it up. What do you want to say to them?
I think I would just say, like, whatever you're into, like, geek out about it, look into it, like, completely nerding out about the stuff that you're truly passionate about. To me, is like super beautiful. And just like try to set some time aside to like explore those interests, because I know like with the world that we live in, we can get like completely lost with like a lot of stuff going on, but try to dedicate like even like if it's like an hour over the weekend, like find your creative outlet and do it, because you get to really explore something new, and at the same time it's good for your mental health. And you know, mental health is priority in all this. Like with everything just going on, like you need to give yourself like that bit of a mental break. So huge advocate on that shit.
For sure. You're here first, bro. You feel me? Yeah, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Of course.
For real.
Thanks for having me.
Man, this was so fire, man. I was supposed to hit the Larry June post, because you know I was like, 1C Rod.
Yeah.
I was gonna do that.
Hit the what? Yeah.
I have to. Yo, we're gonna close off. Appreciate y'all.
Shout out.